Hey, Clark here, back at it again with another review for Star Wars Visions, the new anime anthology series airing on Disney Plus. But before we get started, please like, subscribe, and also share this channel with your friends and family. Again, I want to also thank everyone who's been watching and supporting my channel. I can't thank you enough. But let's get on to this review. So, Star Wars Visions, like I said, is basically a new anime anthology series that's coming from Disney Plus, and basically it's like seven different studios come together and they tell their own stories set in Star Wars universe. And with this review, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to give you my overall thoughts on it first, and then I'm going to do the rankings for each episode, and why I ranked them the way I did. But basically, overall thoughts. I thought the show was amazing. I think it's what Star Wars needed right now. Especially how I feel about Star Wars, and I'm gonna get into that. But right now, Star Wars definitely needed this. What it does is that it introduces a lot of new things and a lot of interesting concepts to the world. Like if you look at the Ninth Jedi, they introduce the idea of a sabersmith. Because usually, if you go in Star Wars lore, Padawans make their lightsabers. No one makes the lightsabers for them; they make it themselves because it's supposed to be a personal thing. It's kind of like when a like a person earns a black belt. It's a personal thing for them. It's a personal thing. They've earned it. They earned their stripe. They earned their belt. So it's kind of like that. But in this show, again, since they're introducing new concepts, that's the concept that they added. Is that, let's say we have a sabersmith that makes the lightsabers, and they do certain things that fall in line with however you lean when it comes to the force. And so it does that. Then not only that, but what it does say to me and what it confirms to me is that when you let people have fun with Star Wars and the concept of Star Wars, they can produce cool ass shit. As opposed to when you put, say, a freaking chain on them like canon. They can't make certain things like they want because they're so afraid of what fans might say. So, what I like about this is that since it was not canon, they said they let the creators just basically let loose. And I think that's what makes this a lot more fun is that you're seeing their vision of Star Wars through their eyes. You're seeing their vision for it. Um, what also, I mean, now with any anthology, I'm gonna say with any anthology, there's good and bad. I mean, there's bad episodes, there's good episodes, but predominantly this show had more good episodes that, excuse me, oh Jesus, than bad ones. They had more good than they did bad, and I think that's what I love about it is that it doesn't. I mean, it it felt like these creators wanted to make what they wanted to make. Even some of the bad ones, it still felt like that's what they wanted to make and that's what they wanted to achieve, and I respect that. But again, to me personally, I thought some of these episodes were not as good. But overall, I thought I thought this show was amazing. And might just add, this show is what happens again when you let creators do what they want. But this show lets me know something that I've always thought and kind of confirms it for me. Star Wars Visions is what happens when you don't let fans tell you what to do with the franchise, right? One thing when I watch this, it shows me the potential of this franchise. And actually, I should say that. No, I shouldn't say what I just said. I say this is what happens when you let the potential of Star Wars shine and you don't let fans dictate that shit. I guess maybe that's a better way of saying it. Basically, my point. Basically, what I'm saying is that I feel like fans kind of bog down Star Wars in a lot of ways. And, they keep it from being this great monumentous franchise. Because me personally, I think Star Wars is just wasted potential. It's very much so wasted potential. And I feel like it could be so much more than what it is, but because fans don't I guess let's say they want it to be a certain way, it can never get to that point where you feel like there's a lot of creativity or people are really thinking about what they want to do and you just feel expressive. It doesn't feel like this is something that has to please the fans and only has to get fan approval. Visions feels like what happens when you don't let the fans dictate you and what you want to do. You actually just make what you wanted to make. And that's what I love about the most is that love about the most, sorry, is that it just that's what it feels like. That's what it feels like to me. It just feels like what happens when you don't let the studio tell you what to do and you don't let fans dictate what you want to do with it. And you just basically like, you know what, I want to make my own thing with this property. And that's what I love about it the most. And so if I have to give this a grade, I give this show about A minus. I give it an A minus. It's a really good movie. I love it a lot. Not movies. Lord Jesus, I said movie. No, series. Sorry about that. This is a really good series. I loved every minute of it. And so that's just, I mean, that's my basic thoughts on it. I mean, I loved it. It's really good. Now, let's go into these rankings. So, number one for me is The Ninth Jedi. I love this episode the most because this episode is basically what I thought the sequel should have been. It sets up new characters, sets up a new world, and not only that, but it's the most. It feels like the one that can continue the after this. It really does. I really like how again the whole entire like when it comes to Saber Smith stuff. That's where this show came with. They came with this idea. I'm sorry. That's where that thing came from. Lord Jesus, my words. That's where it came from. It came from this episode, and that's what production energy came with is the idea of that. They came with the idea of a sabersmith. And not only that, but then the idea that a lightsaber can change colors based on how you connect to the force. I think that's a very interesting idea. The second episode that I'm ranking, put in second episode that I have. Oh wait a minute, why am I saying it like that? Well, number two, Lord Jesus, sorry guys. Number two for me, or why I see the second best episode. There you go. That's what I wanted to say. Second best episode is The Village Bride. Not only do I love this episode because of the whole entire look of the episode, right, the art style and everything, but I also love it because the music is so beautiful in this episode. It's so beautiful. Not only that, but the voice acting, I think throughout all of it. And mind you, I watched it dub. That's why I watched dub. Shoot me. I don't watch sub. Sorry. I mean, I can watch sub. Not saying I don't watch sub. I mean, I can watch sub, but I chose to watch dub because I really wanted to, I really wanted to soak it in as much as I can without having to constantly look back and forth between the subtitles and the actual animation. So I just wanted to, soak it all in. So that's why I just watched the dub. But again, going back, I think the dub voice acting was very good in all these episodes. I really think it was good, but especially in this episode, I think it was really good. Also love the art. Again, I love the art style. I love the music, and I think this show, along with the ninth, also could be continued. And it's very interesting. I love the character that they set up too. The third best episode for me was the Duel. Now, depending on whoever's list, Duel might be almost everybody's number one. The Duel is amazing. And I knew when I saw the trailer, I said that's going to be a tight episode, and it was. This episode introduces a freaking very interesting concept, and that is a Sith who walks away from the Order and to atone for his evil deeds, to atone for that, here goes and he's basically taking out other Sith. I love that. I love that concept. That's a very interesting concept. I think that's one of the most interesting concepts to come from to come from Star Wars, because I don't think I've ever seen that before in Star Wars. Basically, I don't think I've ever seen that where a Sith, basically atoning for his sins, goes around and takes out other Sith lords. That's amazing. So I love the idea of the duel, and not only that, but the art style of it was amazing. The way it is shot and the way they use the camera work in this episode, it is very Kurosawa. It's very Kurosawa. Have you ever seen Akira Kurosawa's films? They're very. It's like basically almost like a western, right? It's basically like a western. And so, if you see his films, when you watch this episode, you'll be very much so reminded of those films. Um, and the action was, I mean, it was neat. It was tight. I mean, they're up there having the lightsaber battle on the log like that. The duel is amazing. Number four for me was Lapin Ocho. I like Lapin Ocho simply because of the family dynamic. I love that. Not only that, but this whole entire idea of traditional versus advancement, which again plays a life imitating art. That's a definitely maybe not life imitating art, but basically like a good reference to how I feel about the fandom. It perfectly sums up how I feel about Star Wars. Is that especially returning to fandom is how some fans want traditional and other fans wanted to advance to a whole nother level. So that's what I love about La Pinocho. It's a traditional versus advanced kind of thing. I like that. I like that a lot. The Elder, this episode was good. I'm sorry, La Pinocho was number four. Elder, he's my number five. Elder is really good. It's good. It's really good because they set up the Sith pretty nicely. They kind of set up pretty nicely. It's I feel like it's the most out of all the episodes. It's the most tamed one, and I feel like it plays it safe. That's why I kind of had number five because it plays it safe, but it's still good. Uh, so it's definitely still good, but I just feel like it plays it safe in a lot of ways. But I mean, it's still a good episode. Still builds up. It's kind of suspenseful in a way too, and how they build the Sith. And again, I probably should have went more into that, but it's very suspenseful how they build the Sith, and not only that, but the episodes it kind of plays out kind of like in a lot of ways a bit almost kind of almost like a thriller, almost like a thriller. It kind of plays out like that. So I was gonna say horror movie, but it's well, I could say horror movie because the character, the elders, kind of reminds me of like a slasher. So yeah, I'll say that it kind of plays like a horror movie or a thriller, one of the two. But I really like the elder. I thought it was pretty good. Number six is the twins. At first I had this higher, but then as over time when I look at the other episodes, I'm like, yeah, I mean, number six is fitting for it. The twins is downright just it's ridiculous, and I love it. I love how ridiculous it is. Um, is it as good as the other ones? No, it's not. I mean, it's just a straight up just it's Studio Trigger just being Studio Trigger. Like they're in outer space, breathing with no helmet on, no nothing, and they're just breathing in outer space. I don't know how. I just can't even fathom what's going on. I mean, he does. If you ever seen Last Jedi, you remember the hyperspace scene when Hodo, I think that was the name Hodo, uh, you know, takes the ship, jumps into hyperspeed, and takes out the what is it? What's the damn thing called? Star Killer or some shit? Whatever the fuck that shit was. But she basically goes into hyperspace and destroys the ship. Well, in this episode, they do that, but I don't want to spoil it. But let's just say what he does when the twins does, it's fucking ridiculous, and I love it. Love every second of it. Um, Number seven on my list is two to B1 or Toby. It was cute. I liked it. I mean, it was Astro Boy. I like the fact that it was very much inspired by Astro Boy / Mega Man. But I mean, that's about it. I mean, it was a cute episode. It was a very cute episode. But I mean, out of all the episodes that I could see turning into, I mean, a series, like, come on now, like, no, definitely not this one. Definitely not this one at all. But again, it was cute. It was cool, even though it kind of sometimes I was kind of confused because it kind of tells the story very fast. It transitions between scenes so fluidly that I couldn't tell if like I was kind of confused at certain moments, but in that episode. Number 8 is Akakiri. This episode, I mean, I feel like if it was given more time to really flesh out, it would be a lot. I would like it a lot more. But I mean, I didn't quite care for it. But I do like the ending of it. I think that's the high point of that episode. Um, is the fact that what happens at the ending of that. What happens at the ending of that episode is what really makes it go like, okay, this prevents you from being at the bottom. Even though it's funny because this episode is technically the closing of I'm assuming season 1 of Visions. Do I feel like it was a strong finish? No. But again, I like what happens at the end of it. And I think that's what makes me not put it at the very bottom of the list. But so it's number 8 on my list. Um, Now getting on to number 9. The reason why this was number 9 because, to be honest with you, um, yeah, I mean, pretty much everybody got this at the bottom of their list, and so I mean, I'm not putting it at the bottom of the list because of everybody else. But this episode, I mean, yeah, whatever. Tatooine Rhapsody. I think we all, if you've seen Tatooine Rhapsody, I think you all know why it's at the bottom. It's kind of like it adds nothing. It's just a musical episode. I can respect that. I respect this as a musical episode, but again, I thought it would be a little more crazier than what I expected. I think I expected something a little bit more action packed and crazy, like a freaking like almost like a heavy metal, like inspired. If you've ever seen the movie Heavy Metal or even seen anything from Heavy Metal, you get what I mean. But I'm thinking something like that, like a rock opera, something like that. But nah, it's just them playing music. That's it. I'm good. That's fine. It's at the bottom for a reason. Uh, so again, Visions was amazing. That's my ranking. Again, number 1 is Ninth Jedi. Number 2 is Village Bride. Number 3 is The Duel. Number 4, Lupin Ocho. Number 5, The Elder. Number 6, The Twins. Number 7, TOB1 or Toby. Number 8 is Akakiri. And number 9 is Tatooine Rhapsody. Lord, use my words. Again, that was review. That's the ranking. And also, again, the rating is at A minus. Again, I want to thank you all to all the people who've been watching my channel. I can't thank you enough. Please go check this out. This is really good. I think this is some of the best Star Wars content out there, and I think we need more of this content because this is the content that keeps Star Wars alive, not the shit that fans, well, a certain sector of fans, constantly want. Like I said, and those fans being OT fans. You know OT fans? Or OT stands for this original trilogy fans. Like to me personally, again, I feel like they're the ones that hold it back. I think a lot of other Star Wars fans, also besides OT fans, hold it back as well. But again, I think they're the main culprits for me personally. But again, this is what we need. This is something new, something fresh, and this is what keeps Star Wars alive. I can't thank y'all enough for watching. Again, I'll talk to you again on the next review. Okay, bye.